Live from the Breaking News and Weather Authority, this is WEAU 13 News at 6.
Wisconsin's latest COVID-19 mass vaccination clinic opens at UW Eau Claire. We'll have a live report coming up. First, a drive-by shooting on Eau Claire's south side triggers lockdowns at 2 schools and begins a search for the suspects. This happened around 1 this afternoon in the 2400 block of Session Street. That entire road between Fairfax Street and London Road was blocked off for a time. Nobody was injured. Eau Claire police believe this incident was isolated and not random. The shooting is being regarded as a drive-by style. No suspects are currently in custody, and Eau Claire police believe any suspects left before officers arrived on the scene.
We do ask if anyone has any video footage of any sort of altercation or had seen something that happened to call the Eau Claire Police Department.
And while this did not happen on school property, the Eau Claire Area School District put lockdowns in place at nearby South Middle School and Meadowview Elementary School. Students were kept inside, and both schools were eventually given the all clear. 2 people charged with human trafficking had court appearances in Eau Claire County Court today. Mark Scoville and Catherine Ottinger were arrested yesterday after they were found living in a tent. WEAU's Max Cotton joins us from the newsroom with details on the case. Max.
Bob, prosecutors say Ottinger tried to sell a child for sexual activity. She faces 2 felony charges. Scoville is charged with 32 counts, including human trafficking and second-degree sexual assault. The charges come after a 3-year investigation. Mark Scoville and Catherine Ottinger, 2 people charged with human trafficking, had their initial court appearances Thursday. Eau Claire County Sheriff's Office Detective Don Henning was a primary investigator on the case. He says it started in 2018 as a drug trafficking investigation around Fairchild.
Through means of gaining information and intelligence on several targets in the Fairchild area, they learned that there was a potential human trafficking or sex trafficking component to the same residences that were involved in the alleged drug trafficking.
He says the drug component makes this case unique.
This is by far the largest human trafficking and sexual assault type case that we've had related to a drug trafficking investigation in our county. We don't see those 2 things cross paths very frequently in our community.
Court filings show Scoville and Ottinger were connected through a man named Charles Page. Page, who died in 2019, was dating Ottinger. According to the criminal complaint, Page and Scoville assaulted and trafficked several women and girls.
Allegation in the second-degree sexual assault section that is denoted in the criminal complaint is specific to having sexual contact or sexual intercourse with an unconscious person, and the defendant knows that they're unconscious.
The criminal complaint also claims Scoville trafficked the women and girls, getting them to perform commercial sex acts by giving them drugs in return.
The qualifier to term it a commercial sex act is that the defendant was getting something in return and or the victim was getting something of value. And in this case, by and large, the item of value was drugs.
After a years-long investigation, Henning says he's confident Scoville and Ottinger will be brought to justice. Henning says the Sheriff's Office worked with multiple law enforcement agencies on the case. The 2 were previously arrested and released in 2019. Warrants were issued for both of their arrests on March 24th this year, and they were arrested yesterday. Henning says prosecutors waited until now to move forward as they built their case. In the newsroom, Max Cotton, WEAU 13 News.
Well, today brought a little bit of a cool down as expected, bringing an end to our 5 days of consecutive highs reaching at least the 70s, of course, too. We're in the 80s in Eau Claire. Today, staying in the 60s. This is still more than 10 degrees above average, however, but we're going to continue to cool things down into tomorrow. Now, we've seen some cooling this evening, 63 in Eau Claire, only 50 up in Siren. Scattered showers have been part of that, but right now much of our area is pretty dry. We've had some breaks in the clouds late afternoon, a little bit of sun, but more clouds to the south, and you see showers coming up through Madison, and that will be rotating in from the southeast later on tonight. A lot of those holding off until after midnight. If you do have plans to go out this evening, odds are you'll be dry, but there is at least a low-end chance of an isolated shower. I'll let you know when the rain chances come to an end and if they'll play a role in your weekend forecast coming up.
For the first time in nearly 2 months, Wisconsin cracked 1,000 new COVID-19 cases on a single day. The 1,046 new positive tests comes from cases identified in 65 of the state's 72 counties. Wisconsin's 7-day positivity average by test climbed again to 3.8%, and the death toll rose today by 14, with fatalities logged in 12 counties. Around the area, Eau Claire and Chippewa counties' case count each went up by 5, La Crosse County by 8, and Dunn County moves up by 12. That marks a third straight day they've reported a double-digit increase in new COVID-19 cases. Well, more than 2 million Wisconsin residents have received at least one dose of COVID-19, while roughly 48,000 more people in the state are now fully vaccinated. That brings that total to 21.9%. Eau Claire County moves its tally of those who finished the inoculation process to 25.7%. Chippewa County increases to 23.5%. La Crosse County now sits at 25.9%, and Dunn County rises to 18.4% of its community members fully vaccinated for COVID-19. Well, Eau Claire County is making major strides with vaccination efforts as the state's second mass vaccination clinic opens at UW-Eau Claire's Zorn Arena. WEAU's Carla Rogner is live at the university with details on how it will work.
Bob, Zorn Arena has been offering COVID-19 tests and vaccines for months now. Now it is opened as a federally funded clinic with about 3,500 vaccine appointments available each day. Joining us now with more information about this federally funded clinic is Eau Claire City County Health Department Director Liska Giese. And Liska, what do you want people to know about this clinic before making an appointment?
Yeah, so exciting that we get to start today and make an appointment online, come down, make sure you're ready to be vaccinated, have your arm ready to go, and know that this is a free appointment. It is a simple way to get vaccinated, and we're ready to make sure that people across the region get a vaccine.
And what was the process like to transition Zorn Arena into this mass vaccination site?
Yeah, wonderful partnership with UW-Eau Claire and with all of the federal and state partners. Lots of vaccine was going out to a small group at UW-Eau Claire by their team, and testing was happening here. And now we have transformed that space in Zorn Arena that many of us were at for basketball games and graduations, and really now it's really an operation that is a throughput of 700 a day, 3,500 a week, and it will be growing.
And can you talk about the local impact that this clinic will have in helping the community get vaccinated?
We're excited that this is a chance really to say we've got more vaccine coming. Every week we will have that guaranteed vaccine, and we have more opportunity to get shots in arms. So for our community, a good thing. We need to get to that herd immunity. We need to have people vaccinated, and this is a simple way for people to get that done.
And you mentioned there will be thousands of appointments available each week. Do you expect that there will be high demand?
Yeah, already this week, really good demand for our Thursday, Friday, Saturday clinics. Next week, we have clinics available Tuesday through Saturday every week. You can go online and get that appointment or call the phone number that's at our COVID-19 Eau Claire website. Easy to get an appointment, and there are appointments available all next week.
Great. Thank you, Liska. We appreciate you being here with us. And again, anyone 16 and older can sign up to get a free vaccine here at Zorn Arena. Like Liska said, this week is pretty booked up, but there are appointments available for next week. You can sign up online or over the phone, and we have that information on our website. Reporting live in Eau Claire, Carla Rogner, WEAU 13 News.
Thank you, Carla, for that report. And with shots continuing to go into the arms in Wisconsin, a major milestone is being reached in the Coulee region. Gunderson Health System has fully vaccinated 25,000 people, with 60,000 receiving at least one shot as of today. Community members say they're excited to return to a more normal way of life. For some, getting the shot is a way to help themselves and others.
This pandemic didn't bother me personally. I work from home anyway. I mean, it was kind of, for me, it was fine. Seeing my kids go through it and how much they lost, him with all of his sports, my youngest, for the longest time, saw no friends.
Those working in the clinic say people have gone from nervously getting tested to eagerly anticipating the vaccine. Patients can check with their health system about vaccine availability. Well, the Brewers spent this afternoon looking for a third straight win. Highlights from the Crews' matinee with the Cardinals later in Sports Scene 13. Next, a popular watering hole in western Wisconsin is gutted by fire last night. The latest on a cause and what made this fire tricky to put out.